Hello.
Hello.
Yep. Good morning, Gary App, sir.
All right. Okay, where are we on this case?
Well, when we last spoke, sir, you said I needed to refund whatever monies the defendant had paid when he first moved in. I sent over a certified letter to both the court and to him. His letter includes the check. It was around $1,500. The letter sent to the court showed a copy of my check. I checked with the UPS or the Postal Service this morning. The court received my letter on the August 1st. It included the copy of the check, the copy of the letter showing that the property was not certified, and a copy of the accounting from my client showing the amount of money I was told to refund. So the court signed for it on the 1st. The Postal Service says that one of those brown notices was left with Mr. Jackson's at his P.O. box, but as of this morning, he hasn't picked it up yet. But I've tendered to him the 1505 or 1510, whatever it was. I've tendered the entire amount back to him as the court directed. And again, this is a termination of tenancy based on the fact the property is not certified, so there was no request for any supplemental complaint.
I would like to say, like, if it is not like a cause to rent out, why is another person being rented? Another person is here, and another person was already here before I started. And what I like to say is, I feel like I'm really being picked on because just in, I think, June or May, he asked me to pay rent. I tried to pay him before, like last the time he came to court, I tried to pay him. He didn't text back. He didn't call. He didn't anything. So what I told him, I said, all right, I'll just wait till we go to court to show that I tried to pay you. So what I'm thinking is, I think he just got a lawyer and came up with something else smart that would make sense because he knew that he was wrong because I tried to pay him and he didn't contact me, didn't call back, anything. I tried to. And I don't get why I'm being targeted and it's someone else living here also. They was living here before I came here. So I don't get I really don't get it. I really don't get it at all. Why I'm the only one being targeted. I tried to pay him. He didn't call back. He didn't text or anything. And he literally just texted me, I think probably May and June, and asked me and contacted me about the rent. So,
okay, Mr. Jackson, stop for a moment.
Yes, sir.
What do you mean that there's somebody moving in?
No, it was someone already here. His name is Joshua. Before I got here, it's somebody that's already here that's moved in. And it's two people that live here. It's roommates. Just for Joshua and it's me. Joshua was already here when I got here. So I don't get how is it not rentable and someone else just moved upstairs. Like these are condos that people buy and they rent out. So I don't get how is that even possible or even logical when someone the owner of a condo here just rented out to two people upstairs. And they told me to contact management.
Stop. Counsel, is that correct?
Your Honor, I understand that there are two people living in this unit, separate leases, and apparently the other person has agreed to move out. He's just there until the place vacates. Nothing to do with Mr. Jackson's tenancy. It was a separate lease, and we're simply asking that he be asked to leave.
All right. Mr. Jackson, how long will it take you to... I got the letter saying that it's not certified, so you can't stay there. There's a check for you that I've got to make sure you get and that it clears. How long will it take you to vacate, sir?
Another thing is, it was first month rent and deposit, and I paid November. So it should be like $1,800. It should be like $1,815.
You paid... No.
First month's rent and deposit was $605. The rent was $605.
And according to the landlord, he paid $300 towards that next month's rent. So I attached the ledger given to me by my client, sir.
All right. So I have $605 paid security deposit and then $300 payment. and that's October, and then November's rent of 605, which comes to the 1510.
Yeah, but I gave him I gave him for deposit 605 for the first month deposit and rent.
Well, I have October, you paid a total of 905, which was a payment of 300 and then $600 security deposit. Right?
No, I paid 600 deposit and 600 for the rent, and then I paid November.
Well, I only have 300 paid that first month for rent.
Okay, I really just want this to be over. I'm tired of this landlord.
All right. So when can you? The check is there. When can you vacate?
I don't have a check though. Where do I pick the check up at? Like something came here. So
I think it's a PO box that he sent it to.
I don't have a PO box.
The address on the pleading, sir, was for Mr. Jackson, was the apartment number 1 at the Packard Road address. That's where I sent the check to.
Okay, that's where he sent it. But did you get that check, sir?
No, they left me an orange ticket that said I had to sign for something, and I never got it.
Okay, then you got to go to the post office.
Okay, will it still be there from that day, or will it be shipped back?
Oh, it should be. It was just a few days ago because the court got theirs. My timestamp is the 2nd, so I'm sure it's still at the post office.
Okay. I would like to ask, when is the other Joshua moving out? Like, when is he moving out? Because if this is no one can live here, I think it's fair that we both have to leave.
Counsel, when is the other tenant moving? When is the other tenant moving out?
I wasn't given a date. I was simply told that when Mr. Jackson was out, the other tenant would move out at essentially the same time, but we didn't know when Mr. Jackson was actually going to be out. So I don't have a date, sir. I'm sorry.
All right. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I'm adjourning this out 2 weeks. You got to figure out your move out date, Mr. Jackson. Maybe you can ask the guy upstairs or whatever. And you need to pick up the check, get it to the bank or wherever you do that so that it can get cash. Okay?
All right.
So the 18th. So this will be adjourned to August 18th, 2023, 9 a.m. Thank you.
Your Honor, what's the purpose? Is the purpose of the adjournment to make sure the check clears? I guess I didn't follow the reason for the adjournment.
Well, the reason for the adjournment is to try to get a move out time because the whole building won't be empty, and also to make sure he gets the check and that it clears.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because if it's a matter of the check, that's fine, but I don't have a timeline for the other tenant, but I can get one.
Thank you. Triple R Development versus.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Rebecca Haynes appearing on behalf of Triple R.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hey. Go ahead. What's your name, sir?
Julio Perez.
All right. And are you part of JP Torch and Demolition?
Well, yes.
Pardon?
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask this first thing. Is that a corporation?
No, sir. When I moved in, I was on my name. It was never been under JP Torchin. It's always been Julio Perez. It's never been JP Torchin when I moved into the place.
When you moved into what place?
In 8325 Chop Road.
Okay. So you rented the place.
Yes, sir.
Counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
So was the lease, is
No.
there a lease? I guess my first question.
No, sir. There's no lease.
No, Your Honor, there's no official lease. There was an agreement between my client and she's also here on the Zoom as well, to lease the space between Triple R Development and to Mr. Perez's business, JP Torching and Demo. It's a commercial.
It was not a business. It was not to the business. It was to me, personally me, not the business. It was nothing to do with the business. What I paid with, when I was paying the last check as was given to them, it was with the business company name. But before I always was paying them in cash. It never was to the business.
Okay. All right. So let me ask this. Is there any proof of any payment or anything on this? I mean,
Your Honor, rent was paid through October of 2022.
okay, and how did that rent get paid?
Your Honor, if I may defer to my client who is also here,
No, that's fine.
if she can answer that question.
It was through a check. We always got
check?
paid with a check.
Okay, so that check, whose name was on the check?
I would have to go back to my books from last year because that's the last time we've gotten paid was 9 months ago, was with a check.
Okay, and so
I
maybe Mr.
don't remember if it was Julio. I don't know if it was Julio Perez that was on the check itself. And I don't know if I even made a copy of the check, but his daughters would always bring in a check.
Yeah, the
Okay.
check is on the JP Torching.
Okay.
Okay, so the check was from JP Torching.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So if the checks were in JP Torching, then the court could assume that that's who rented the premises, although it may be in your name. So there's $35,000 that they're claiming is owed at this point. Do you dispute that?
No,
sir?
Your Honor. No, I know I own the money because I know I got hurt.
Okay. So, all right. So then the next question that I have, what kind of entity is JP Torching? Is it an LLC? Is it just, what is it?
LLC.
It's an LLC.
Yes.
All right. So here's part of the problem. Part of the problem is you can't come in and represent it. I know you may be the only member, but the LLC, because it's in JP Torching's name, is going to have to be represented by a corporation.
What do you mean by a
I
corporation?
mean, by an attorney.
Oh, okay.
The corporation has to be represented by an attorney.
Okay, and can you give me a couple of weeks until I find a lawyer that can help me, please?
Right. Yes, because I don't think you were informed of that at the last hearing. So I will adjourn this matter to the 18th, which is my next available day.
Okay, thank you, sir.
2023, 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Right? Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Spice Tree Apartment.